Imagine this. It's supposed to be the happiest night of their lives. The beat drops, the views start climbing, and for the first time in years, the Gowden family feels like they're finally breaking free from the shadows. NBA YoungBoy's younger brother, B-Way Youngie, the one everyone's been calling the next up, just dropped his debut single, In This Be, a raw, gritty track straight from the trenches of Baton Rouge that had the streets buzzing within hours. Fans were flooding the comments. YB Bloodline unstoppable. Little bro got that same pain in his voice. Kentrell himself was live on Instagram earlier that evening, grinning ear to ear, gold chains swinging, hyping it up like a proud big brother should. That's my lil one right there. We eating now, no more sleeping on us, he shouted, voice cracking with genuine excitement. The whole camp was celebrating, bottles popping, music blasting, family gathered in a way they hadn't in forever. But in the rap game, joy is dangerous. Success paints a target on your back brighter than any spotlight. Just hours after the song hit 1 million streams, literally as the notifications kept pinging on everyone's phones, gunfire shattered the night. Bullets ripped through the air outside a quiet spot in Baton Rouge where the celebration had spilled into the streets. Screams, chaos, tires screeching, and in the middle of it all, B-Way Youngie hit the ground, blood pooling under him, clutching his chest while his phone, still playing his own track on loop, fell from his hand. Word spread like wildfire across every hood, every timeline, every group chat. NBA YoungBoy, Kentrell Gowden, the man who's stared down death more times than anyone can count, received the call no brother ever wants to hear. Sources close to the family say he collapsed, literally dropped to his knees in the middle of a crowded room, tears streaming down his face for the first time publicly in years. The same man who rapped about pain, loss, and revenge without flinching. Now broken, sobbing, they took my little brother. They took my heart, witnesses claim he kept repeating through choked breaths. Why him? He just got his moment. Social media exploded, fans in disbelief, rivals smirking in comments, old Opps resurfacing with cryptic posts. Karma don't miss. The internet detectives already piecing together who might have pulled the trigger, old beefs reignited, street politics boiling over the moment Way's name started trending alongside his famous siblings. Was it retaliation for something Kentrell did years ago? A jealous crew who couldn't stand seeing another Gowden rise? Or worse, someone inside the circle who sold them out for clout or cash? This wasn't just a shooting. This was a declaration of war on the entire YoungBoy legacy. One bullet didn't just hit a young artist on the come-up. It pierced the soul of one of the biggest rappers alive and left the whole rap world holding its breath. Tonight, the question everyone is asking, will NBA YoungBoy seek peace? Or will he unleash hell like never before? Because if there's one thing we know about Kentrell Gowden, when family bleeds, the streets run red. Stay locked in, because what happens next could change everything. This is only the beginning of the most explosive drama in hip-hop right now. You don't want to miss a second. The celebration had barely begun when the night turned deadly. Picture this. Baton Rouge streets still buzzing from the debut drop, cars lined up outside the spot where B-Way Youngie and his crew were popping off. Bottles in hand, phones out recording every second of the victory lap. The track, In This BIH, blasting from multiple speakers, bass shaking windows, young fans circling the block just to catch a glimpse of the new star in the Gowden bloodline. Kentrell, NBA YoungBoy himself, had pulled up earlier in that mad black Hellcat, windows down, screaming, "That's my brother. That's my motherfucking brother," with a smile that hadn't been seen on his face in public since before all the legal drama. For once the pain in his eyes was replaced with pure pride. Family was winning, finally, but pride in the streets comes with a price tag nobody sees coming. Around 2:17 a.m., according to witnesses who spoke to local outlets later, two dark-colored SUVs rolled up slow at the end of the block. Tinted windows, no plates visible, music cut off like someone flipped a switch. Then the doors cracked open just enough. Pops, pops, pops. Automatic fire lit up the night like fireworks gone wrong. People dove behind cars, screaming names, ducking low. B-Way Youngie, real name Tyrese Gowden, was standing near the front of the crowd, still holding his phone up filming a live for his new fans. The first bullet caught him square in the upper chest. He stumbled back, eyes wide in shock, hand instinctively pressing the wound like he could push the pain back inside. Second and third rounds hit his shoulder and side. He dropped hard, phone clattering to the pavement, screen still glowing with comments flooding in. "Fire bro, keep going. YB next up. Chaos erupted. Girls screaming, dudes yelling, "Call the ambulance." Someone tried to drag Tyrese behind a parked truck, but the shots kept coming for another 10 seconds straight. By the time the subs peeled off, tires screeching, smoke trailing, the block looked like a war zone. Shell casings everywhere, blood on the concrete, Tyrese's white tee turning dark red fast. Word hit Kentrell within minutes. He was back at the crib, still live on IG with the crew, laughing, when his phone rang. It was their mama, Shirhanda. Her voice on speaker, shaking, broken. "Kentrell, they shot Tyrese. They shot your little brother. He ain't moving right, come now." The live cut off mid-sentence. Camera dropped, room went dead silent. Kentrell stood there frozen for a second, eyes locked on nothing. Then his knees buckled. Big man, tatted up, chains heavy, always talking tough, hit the floor crying like a kid. Tears pouring, chest heaving. "No, no, 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 not him. Not my baby bro." He kept repeating it over and over, voice cracking higher each time. The same voice that spit venom on records for years now sounded small, lost, terrified. Friends rushed over trying to lift him. "Come on YB, we gotta go hospital now." But he wouldn't move at first. Just rocked back and forth on the floor, hands covering his face, sobbing so hard his whole body shook. One of his day ones, a dude named KD, later told close sources, "I ain't never seen him like that. Never. Not even when they locked him up. Not even after all the other losses. This one broke him different." By the time they got to the hospital, Tyrese was already in surgery. Critical condition. Doctors saying one of the bullets nicked an artery, another shattered part of his collarbone. Massive blood loss. They weren't sure he'd make it through the night. Kentrell paced the waiting room like a caged animal, hoodie pulled low, refusing to sit. Every few minutes he'd stop, stare at the double doors to the OR, then break down again. Quiet tears this time, wiping his face with the sleeve, muttering prayers nobody ever heard him say out loud before. "God please, I'll do anything, take me instead, just let him breathe." Family started pouring in. Mama Shirhanda arrived first, face swollen from crying the whole drive over. She collapsed into Kentrell's arms and they both just held each other, rocking, no words. Then came the other siblings, some from different mamas, some full blood. Tensions already simmering because not everyone in the Gowden circle gets along. Old grudges, money issues, who's really riding for who? One sister whispered to another, "This what happened when you flash too hard too soon." Opps been watching. Another brother snapped back, "Don't start that shit right now." Not while he fighting for his life. Outside the hospital, fans were already gathering. Phones up, live streams popping off everywhere. Hashtag pray for Youngie trending #1 worldwide within the hour. Comments a mix of heartbreak and rage. Who did this to baby YB? NBA finna go Super Saiyan on these niggas. This why we can't have nothing good in Baton Rouge, but mixed in were the trolls. Opps accounts posting laughing emojis. Cryptic subs. One page with a long history of hating on YoungBoy dropped a simple, "one less problem," and watched the likes pour in from rival sets. Inside, doctors finally came out around 5 a.m. Tyrese made it through surgery. Barely, still on life support, induced coma to give his body a chance. Next 48 hours critical, the lead surgeon said. Kentrell didn't respond, just nodded once, eyes bloodshot, then walked outside to the smoking area alone. Lit a blunt with shaking hands. Took one pull, coughed hard, then threw it on the ground and smashed it with his foot. "I can't even smoke right now," he said to nobody. "My heart too heavy." That's when the first twist hit social media. A blurry clip surfaced, grainy Ring camera footage from a house across the street. Two figures jumping out the subs before the shooting. One of them clearly wearing a mask, but the other, hoodie down just enough for someone to zoom in. Tattoos visible on the neck. A very specific rose with thorns wrapping around a cross. Fans who study beefs like scientists immediately recognized it. That's the signature ink of a dude named J-Rock, from the opposing side, one of the main names tied to the longest-running Baton Rouge war that YoungBoy's been linked to since he was 16. Comments exploded. "That's J-Rock neck tat. They've been waiting on YB to get happy so they could snatch it. This retaliation for what happened in 2019, old wounds ripping open fresh." People digging up decade-old diss tracks. Screen recordings of deleted lives where threats were made. The internet turned into a courtroom overnight, judge and jury all in the comments section. Kentrell saw the clip too. Someone showed him on their phone while he was still outside. His face changed, the tears stopped, Jaw clenched so tight you could see the muscle twitch. Eyes went cold. The same look he gets right before a record drops that changes the game. He handed the phone back, voice low. They touched family. Now it's personal. Back inside, Mama Shahanda was praying over Tyrese's bed, holding his hand even though he couldn't feel it. Tubes everywhere. Machines beeping steady. She looked up when Kentrell walked in. Their eyes met. She shook her head slow. Don't do it, Kentrell. Don't let this turn you into something worse. He needs you here, not in them streets. But Kentrell didn't answer. He just stared at his little brother's swollen face, the ventilator pushing air in and out. Then he leaned down, whispered something nobody else heard, kissed Tyrese's forehead, and walked out. The family was already dividing. Some wanted peace, talked to community leaders, let police handle it, focus on Tyrese healing. Others whispering in corners, we can't let this slide. They'll keep coming. Old heads versus youngins. Money versus loyalty. Kentrell caught between both worlds. The man who once said, I don't do internet beef, now watching every story, every post, every subtle jab. By sunrise the first big twist dropped. An anonymous account leaked a text thread. Screenshots showing someone inside YoungBoy's camp talking reckless days before the shooting. Bragging about how, Lil bro bout to blow, we untouchable now. The number wasn't saved under a name, but the area code was local. And the slang, too familiar. Fans started connecting dots. Was there a snake in the circle? Someone who sold the location of the celebration? Someone jealous that Tyrese was getting shine while they stayed in the background? Kentrell's phone started blowing up. DMS from industry people. Stay safe bro. Thoughts and prayers. But also warnings. Watch your people. They moving funny. He didn't reply to any of it. Just sat in the hospital parking lot in his car, windows up, staring ahead. Replaying every moment, every laugh from earlier that night, every hug, every, we made it, promise. And somewhere in Baton Rouge, the shooters were probably watching the same clips, laughing, thinking they won. Thinking they silenced the next Gowden star before he could even start. But if there's one thing about NBA YoungBoy nobody ever bets against, it's that when you hurt what's his, he don't just get even. He gets biblical. The war wasn't starting. It was already here. And Baton Rouge was about to feel every inch of it. The sun was barely up when the first wave of real fallout started crashing through Baton Rouge. Hospitals don't sleep, and neither did the streets. Kentrell had barely left Tyrese's side for more than 10 minutes all morning. He sat in that stiff plastic chair, elbows on knees, staring at the floor like it owed him answers. Every beep from the machines felt like a countdown. Tyrese still hadn't woken up. Doctors kept coming in with the same update, stable but fragile. One more infection, one more complication, and it could all flip in seconds. Kentrell's phone stayed on silent but the screen never stopped lighting up. Notifications from every corner of the internet. He finally picked it up around 8 a.m., scrolled through the madness, and his jaw tightened harder with every swipe. The clip of the neck tat had gone mega viral. Millions of views, reposts, breakdowns on every gossip page from the Shade Room to Academics Live. Fans were doing FBI-level detective work, zooming in frame by frame, comparing old photos of J-Rock at cookouts, at clubs, even mugshots from years back. The rose and thorns cross matched perfect. Then someone dropped another bomb. A screenshot of J-Rock's story from 2 days earlier. Just a black screen with white text, timing everything, no context. No explanation, but in the world of subtle disses, that was a billboard. Comments under it were war zones already. He knew what time it was. YoungBoy camp slipping. Payback for Quando. Kentrell read it all, didn't say a word, just locked the phone, stood up slow, and walked to the window overlooking the parking lot. Below, news vans were starting to pull up, camera crews setting up, fans still holding signs that said, Free YB, even though he wasn't locked up. This time it was, Pray for Youngie. A couple kids no older than 14 were crying on live, talking about how Tyrese's song gave them hope. He was just like us, now look. The guilt hit Kentrell like a freight train. He pressed his forehead to the cool glass, whispered, I should have kept him closer. Should have told him to stay low after the drop. Mama Shahanda walked up behind him, placed a hand on his shoulder. She hadn't slept either, eyes puffy, voice hoarse from praying and crying. You blaming yourself ain't gon' bring him back no faster. You gotta be strong for him now. And for the rest of us. Kentrell turned, looked at her with those red-rimmed eyes. Ma, they targeted him because of me. Because my name on his back. My enemies became his before he even had a chance to make his own. She pulled him into a hug, the way she used to when he was little and the world felt too big. Then make sure it stops here. Don't let this cycle eat another one of my babies. But the streets weren't listening to prayers. By noon the retaliation talk had moved offline and into group chats, back alleys, trap houses. Sources close to the camp started leaking to blogs. YoungBoy's security, dudes who usually stayed quiet, were seen loading up blacked-out trucks at a spot on Plank Road. Guns visible, faces stone. One insider whispered to a YouTuber off record, YB told us straight up. Anybody move funny, handle it. He ain't playing no more. Another leak dropped around 1 p.m., audio from a FaceTime call. Kentrell's voice, low and shaking with rage. I gave y'all peace. I stayed out the way. Y'all shot my brother on his first night shining. Now watch what happened. The clip was only 14 seconds but it spread like gasoline on fire. Views hit 3 million in under 2 hours. Fans in the comments, he bout to drop the hardest diss ever. This gon' be 38 baby 3 level revenge. Rip to whoever on the other side. Inside the hospital room, Tyrese stirred for the first time. Just a twitch of his fingers. Nurses rushed in. Machines started beeping different patterns. Kentrell bolted from the hallway, pushed past security, made it to the bed just as Tyrese's eyes fluttered open halfway. Groggy, confused, pain meds heavy in his system. He tried to speak but only a rasp came out. Kentrell grabbed his hand, tears instant again. I'm here lil bro, I'm right here. You good, you made it through the worst. Tyrese blinked slow, tried to smile but it turned into a wince. Managed one word. Song? Kentrell laughed through the tears, choked up. Still #1 on Apple, nigga. You blowing up, whole world hearing you right now. That moment should have been healing. Family crowded around, phones down for once, just love, but the piece lasted maybe 20 minutes before the next twist hit like a sucker punch. A new video surfaced, this one clearer. Dashcam from a car parked nearby during the shooting. It caught the subs pulling off, but more important, the passenger window of the lead car rolled down just enough. A face turned toward the camera for half a second. No mask, young, maybe 19, recognizable to anybody who grew up in the bottom. His name whispered in the comments before the video even finished loading. That's Lil Dre from Northside. Lil Dre. The same kid who used to run with YoungBoy's old crew back in 2018 before switching sides over money and respect. The ultimate betrayal story. Fans started connecting more dots. Lil Dre had been posting throwbacks lately, old pics with Kentrell cropped out. Subs about fake loyalty. Now it looked like he pulled up on Tyrese to settle old scores through the little brother. Kentrell watched the new clip on Cade's phone. His expression didn't change much outwardly, but his grip on the bed rail turned his knuckles white. He leaned down to Tyrese, who was awake enough to hear whispers. They got one of our own in on it. Lil Dre. Tyrese's eyes widened. He tried to sit up, winced hard, fell back. Rasped out, that nigga was family, once. Kentrell nodded slow. Not no more. The family room turned into a strategy session nobody asked for. Uncles arguing loud, we call the hitters now or we wait. Cousins saying, police already got descriptions, let them move first. Mama Sharhanda shut it down quick. Ain't no killing in my name. Not while my baby's still breathing tubes. Y'all want more funerals? But the younger ones weren't hearing it. One nephew stormed out, phone already to his ear, making calls nobody wanted traced. Outside, the media circus grew. Reporters shouting questions at anybody leaving the hospital. Is NBA YoungBoy planning revenge? Was this gang related? Fans clashing with Opps supporters right there in the lot? One fight broke out. Dudes swinging over a YoungBoy chain versus a rival said tat. Police had to break it up with pepper spray. Lives caught it all. More fuel for the algorithm. Kentrell stepped out for air around 4 p.m. Hoodie up, mask on. Paparazzi still caught him. Flashes popping. He ignored them, walked to his car, sat inside with the engine off. Just breathing. Then his phone rang. Unknown number. He answered anyway. Voice on the other end distorted, deep. You know who this is. Tell your people to stand down. We can talk, or we can keep going till ain't nobody left. Kentrell didn't yell, didn't threaten, just said calm, you shot my heart. Ain't no talking after that. Hung up. Stared at the dashboard for a long minute. Then started the car. He didn't go far, just to a quiet spot behind an old warehouse his team used to use for videos. Parked, got out, pulled a burner from the glove box. Made one call, voice low. Find Dre. Bring him to me. Alive. Hung up. Lit another blunt this time, actually smoked it slow. Tears dried now. Replaced with something colder. Something final. Back at the hospital, Tyrese was asking for his phone. Nurses hesitated but Mama said let him. He scrolled weak, saw the numbers. Saw his song at #1 on Spotify rap chart. Smiled faint. I did it, Ma. I really did it. She kissed his forehead. You still doing it, baby. Keep fighting. But the fighting wasn't just in the hospital bed anymore. It was spreading. Fast. Baton Rouge felt like it was holding its breath, waiting for the next boom. Because when NBA YoungBoy says it's personal, the whole city knows what comes next ain't pretty. And somewhere, Lil Dre was probably checking his rearview every 5 seconds, knowing the clock was ticking louder than any beat drop. The tension in Baton Rouge thickened like smoke after a fresh hit. By late afternoon, the hospital had turned into ground zero for every kind of drama. Police cruisers lined the entrance now, officers posted up with notepads and radios crackling. Detectives in plain clothes slipped in and out of Tyrese's floor asking quiet questions. Did he see faces? Any names dropped before the shots? Tyrese, still groggy from the meds, could only shake his head weak. Everything fast, just noise. They didn't push hard. They knew who he was. They knew who his brother was. This wasn't a random robbery. This was calculated, personal, and the city's finest already had a short list of suspects longer than most people's playlist. Kentrell hadn't left the building since that call on the burner. He moved like a shadow now, hood up, steps deliberate, eyes scanning every face that passed. KD and a couple other day ones flanked him everywhere, hands near waists, ready for anything. Whispers followed them down the halls, nurses glancing quick then looking away, security tightening. One orderly later told a blog, I thought we was about to have another incident right here. The energy was heavy, like everybody waiting for the next boom. Around 6 p.m. the third major twist landed like a grenade in the group chat. A new set of screenshots leaked, this time from inside the Gowden camp. Texts between one of Kentrell's closest, a dude named Slime who handled security runs. Messages dated 2 days before the shooting. Slime texting someone unknown. Lil Bro celebration spot leaked already. They know where we at. YB said keep it quiet but word out. Reply. Who talking? Slime. IDK but if it's one of ours I'm handling. Then radio silence. Fans who saw the leak went nuclear. Snake in the camp confirmed. Slime knew and didn't lock it down. Or Slime the one who sold it? Theories flew. Some said Slime got paid to look the other way. Others said he was trying to protect but slipped. Either way, trust cracked wide open. Kentrell got the screenshots pushed to his phone while he was grabbing coffee from the cafeteria. He read them slow, face blank at first, then his hand started trembling just enough to spill a drop. He wiped it with his sleeve, pocketed the phone, and walked straight to where Slime was posted up in the family waiting area. Room cleared out fast when they saw Kentrell's eyes. Just the two of them. Door shut. You knew? Kentrell's voice low, controlled, but the bass in it shook the air. Slime stood up slow, hands visible. Bro, I heard whispers. I told you we needed to move spots. You said stay put, celebrate big. I tried. Tried ain't enough when my brother bleeding out. Kentrell stepped closer. No yelling, just that quiet menace he gets when the mask slips off. You my day one. You supposed to die before a leak like that happened. Slime's eyes dropped. I swear on my mama I ain't sell nothing. But if somebody close did, I'll find M myself. Kentrell stared for a long beat. Then nodded once. Find M, tonight, bring proof, or don't come back around me. He turned, walked out. Slime stayed frozen for a second, then bolted for the exit, phone already out making calls. Outside, the sun was dipping low, painting the sky bloody orange. Fans had grown to hundreds. Chants started, YB, YB, mixed with, justice for Youngie. Some held candles. Others just stood silent, phones recording everything. A news chopper circled overhead now, thumping loud. Reporters yelling from behind barricades. Kentrell, any statement? He ignored them all, slipped into a side door with KD. Back in the room, Tyrese was sitting up a little more. Color coming back slow. Mama Shurhanda feeding him ice chips, talking soft about old times. Remember when you was little and followed Kentrell everywhere? Wouldn't let him out your sight. Tyrese tried to laugh but coughed instead. Still don't. Then his face got serious. Ma, tell him don't do nothing stupid. I ain't want this. She nodded, but her eyes said she knew it was too late for that talk. Night fell hard. Baton Rouge streets emptied faster than usual. People knew the vibe. When YoungBoy hurt, the whole city feels it. Trap houses went quiet, corners cleared, everybody waiting. Around 10 p.m. the first shots rang out, not near the hospital, but across town near where Lil Dre was known to post up. Rapid fire, then silence, then sirens. Social media lit right back up. Unconfirmed reports. Lil Dre car shot up on Greenwell Springs. He good or nah? Somebody pulled up heavy. No official word yet, but the timing said everything. Kentrell was back at Tyrese's bedside when the news hit his phone. He glanced at it, expression unchanging. Tyrese caught it though. What happened? Kentrell shook his head. Nothing you need to worry about. Rest. But Tyrese grabbed his arm weak. Don't lie to me, K. I know you. I know that look. Tell me you ain't start nothing. Kentrell looked down at his little brother. Tubes still in, monitors steady. Voice cracked just a little. They touched you first. I just making sure they feel it too. Tyrese closed his eyes, tears slipping out. We was supposed to do music together, not this. Not bury nobody else. Kentrell wiped his own face quick. We still gon' do music. Soon as you out this bed, we in the stew. Whole album, Gowden Brothers. But right now, I gotta handle business so you can breathe free. Mama Shurhanda stepped in between them. Enough. Both of y'all. Tyrese need peace. Kentrell need to think before he move. Lord already took enough from this family. The room went quiet except for the machines. Then Tyrese whispered, promise me, no more blood if I make it. Kentrell didn't answer right away. Just squeezed his hand. I promise I'll try. But promises in Baton Rouge don't always hold when Opps still breathing. By midnight another leak dropped. This one audio again. Distorted voice. Sounded like Lil Dre himself, on a call. They hit my whip but I wasn't in it. Tell YB we can squash or we keep going. I ain't scared. Bravado thick. But the shakiness underneath said different. He knew. Everybody knew. The game had escalated past subs and posts. Now it was real bodies in play. Kentrell heard the clip in the parking lot, sitting on the hood of his Hellcat. KD played it for him. When it finished, Kentrell just stared at the stars. He think this a game still? KD nodded. What we doing next? Kentrell slid off the hood, opened the door. We waiting. He gon' reach out. When he do, we ended my way. Inside, Tyrese drifted back to sleep. Mama praying over him again. But even in sleep his face twitched like he was dreaming of gunshots. Family divided deeper now. Some siblings texting Kentrell. Handle it. Others texting Mama. Stop him before he go down forever. The night stretched long. Sirens never stopped. Baton Rouge felt like a powder keg with the fuse already lit. And at the center of it all, NBA YoungBoy, torn between brotherly love and street law, knew one thing clear. Peace wasn't an option anymore. Not until the ones who pulled the trigger paid in full. Somewhere in the shadows, Lil Dre checked his locks twice, gun on the nightstand, phone on airplane mode. But deep down he knew, no mode could keep what was coming. The Gowden curse wasn't done claiming names yet, and the next chapter was writing itself in blood. The hours after midnight blurred into a haze of waiting and whispers. Baton Rouge had gone eerily quiet, like the city itself knew better than to make noise while the Gowden name was bleeding. Kentrell hadn't slept. He alternated between Tyrese's room and the parking lot, chain smoking when the anxiety got too thick, staring at his phone like it might spit out the next move before he had to make it. Every notification felt like a potential bomb. Every shadow in the hallway looked like it could be carrying heat. Around 3 a.m., the fourth big twist crashed in without warning. Not a leak this time. Not a blurry clip, a straight-up DM from an account nobody recognized at first. Verified blue check, some low-key music page with 200k followers that mostly posted throwback clips and beef breakdowns. The message was short, attached a voice note. Kentrell opened it in the dim glow of his screen, earbud in, volume low so Mama wouldn't hear from the next room. The voice was Lil Dre's. No distortion, no bravado this time, just raw, shaky breathing at first, then words tumbling out fast. K, listen, I ain't pull the trigger. I swear on everything. I was there, yeah, I rode with them, but I didn't shoot. They said it was just to scare y'all. Flex, show we still got reach. I tried to talk em down in the car. They wouldn't hear it. Soon as the shots popped I dipped. I ain't want your lil bro hit like that. He ain't do nothing to me. This between old shit with you and the set. Not him, not the music. I'm trying to get out the game for real now. But they got my mama house on watch. If I snitch, she gone. If I don't, you coming. I know it. Just meet me. Neutral spot. No guns. We talk. End this before more kids die. Kentrell played it twice. Face unreadable. Then he deleted the DM, blocked the page, and sat back against the wall. KD was posted nearby, half asleep in a chair. Kentrell nudged him with his foot. Dre just reached out. Wants to talk. KD sat up quick. You buying that? Kentrell shrugged slow. Don't matter if I buy it. Matters if he think I will. That's how we get him close. They didn't wake mama. Didn't tell the rest of the family. This stayed between the inner circle. By 4:30 a.m., Kentrell had a plan sketched on Notes app. Meet at an old abandoned lot off Airline Highway. Neutral ground, open sightlines, no cover for ambushes. He'd go light, just KD and one more. Dre could bring who he wanted, but the rule was clear. First shot fired, everybody eats. Kentrell typed one reply from a burner. Tomorrow night. 11. You know the spot. Come alone or don't come. Your choice. But if you play me, your mama won't be the only one paying. Sent. Read receipt popped almost instant. Then nothing. Morning came slow. Tyrese was stronger. Doctors took him off the ventilator around 9 a.m. He could talk in full sentences now. Voice raspy but there. First thing he asked for was water. Second thing was Kentrell. When Big Bro walked in, Tyrese looked him dead in the eye. You going after them, huh? Kentrell didn't lie. Yeah. Tyrese sighed deep, winced from the pull on his stitches. I heard the nurses talking. Heard fans outside chanting your name like you a hero. But heroes don't come home in boxes, or in cuffs forever. I just got my first song out. I want more. I want us to drop together. Not you dropping bodies. Kentrell sat on the edge of the bed, careful not to tug the IV. I hear you, but they ain't gon' stop unless somebody make M. You think they care about your next single? They see Gowden, they see Target. Tyrese reached out, grabbed his brother's wrist. Grip weak but firm, then be the one who stops it different. Go platinum instead of prison. Make mama proud for once without blood on your hands. The words hit harder than any bullet. Kentrell looked away, throat working. I promised I'd try. That's all I got right now. Outside, the fan presence had turned into a full vigil. Candles lined the sidewalk. Murals of Tyrese's face spray painted quick on nearby walls, young, smiling, mic in hand. Hashtag YoungBoy strong trending harder than ever. Rappers from everywhere dropping posts. NBA Ben 10, Quando, even some neutral names like Lil Durk and Polo G sending prayers. But the Opps stayed silent. No more subs, no laughing emojis. They knew the temperature. One wrong move and Baton Rouge would erupt. By afternoon, Slime came back. Looking rough, eyes bloodshot. He pulled Kentrell aside in the stairwell. Found the leak. Wasn't me. Was Lil Cuz, Lil Tay. The one who always begging for features. He was in the group chat bragging about the spot to some females. One of M Pillow talked to her cousin on the other side. Tay didn't know she was linked. But he the reason they knew where to pull up. Kentrell's face didn't change. Where he at? Slime swallowed. I got him waiting in the whip downstairs. Said he sorry, crying and shit. Want to see you. Kentrell went down alone. Lil Tay was in the backseat of a Tahoe, head down, hands cuffed with zip ties just in case. When the door opened, Tay looked up terrified. K, bro, I ain't mean it. I was just talking, flexing. I swear I didn't know. Kentrell cut him off. You put my brother in a box almost. Because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. Tay started sobbing. Do what you gotta do. Just don't tell mama. She already lost enough. Kentrell stared long. Then he reached in, cut the zip ties with a pocket knife. Get out. Go home. Tell everybody you see. If they talk about family business outside family, they next. And if I hear your name in these streets again, you won't get a conversation. Tay scrambled out, ran off without looking back. Slime watched him go. You soft today? Kentrell shook his head. Nah, just saving bullets for who deserve M. Evening rolled in heavy. Tyrese was eating solid food now, jello and broth, but it was progress. Mama Sharhanta finally cracked a small smile when he joked about dropping a hospital bed diss track. Family tension eased a fraction. Siblings hugging, old grudges on pause, but Kentrell's mind was already on the meet-up. He kissed Tyrese's forehead before leaving. I'll be back before you wake up tomorrow. Promise. 11 p.m. came fast. The lot on Airline was pitch black except for the Hellcat's headlights cutting through dust. Kentrell stood outside the car. KD and another hitter posted up 20 feet back. No music, no talking, just crickets and distant traffic. Then headlights appeared slow from the opposite end. One car, black Charger. It stopped 30 yards away. Door opened. Lil Dre stepped out alone. Hands up, no piece visible. He walked halfway, stopped. Kentrell did the same. Two men in the dark, history thick between them. Dre spoke first, voice carrying. I meant what I said on the note. Wasn't my call to shoot. I rode to watch. That's it. Kentrell's reply was ice. You watched my brother get hit. That make you just as guilty. Dre nodded slow. I know. That why I'm here. No vest, no backup. You want smoke, take it now. But if you hear me out, maybe we both walk away breathing. Kentrell stepped closer. Talk. Dre exhaled. The ones who pulled it, they young. Hot-headed. Got they own beef with you from years back. They used me to get close. Said if I didn't roll, they was coming for my people. I chose wrong, but I recorded the whole ride. Audio. Got names. Got plates. Everything. Give it to you. You do what you want with it. Police, streets, whatever. Just, let me get my mama out. She ain't in this. Kentrell studied him. Long silence. Then, send it. Now. Dre pulled his phone slow. Airdropped the file. Kentrell's phone pinged. He played it quick, voices clear, planning clear, shots discussed like groceries. Names dropped. He pocketed it, looked back up. You got 24 hours. Get her gone. Leave Baton Rouge. If I see you again, no talk. Dre nodded once. Backed up slow. Got in his car. Left without another word. Kentrell stood there till the taillights vanished. Then he turned to KD. Send that audio to the right people. Anonymous. Let the law eat first this time. KD raised an eyebrow. You going soft? Kentrell shook his head. Nah, just getting smart. Tyrese was right. We gon' win different. Music, money, legacy, not graves. He got back in the Hellcat. Drove straight to the hospital. Walked into Tyrese's room at 1 a.m. Little bro was awake, scrolling weak on his phone. Looked up. You good? Kentrell sat. Smiled small for the first time in days. Yeah, we good. Tomorrow we start planning that album. Gowden Brothers. No more interruptions. Tyrese grinned faint. Bet. Outside, Baton Rouge exhaled. Sirens quieter. Streets a little safer. For now. But everybody knew, the piece was paper thin. One wrong move, and the fire would spark again. But tonight the Gowden family chose breath over blood. And maybe, just maybe, that was the hardest diss of all. The dawn light crept through the hospital blinds like it was afraid to disturb the fragile calm that had settled over the Gowden family. Tyrese slept deeper now, pain meds finally winning the battle against the ache in his chest. Monitors beeped soft and steady. Mama Sharhanda dozed in the recliner beside him, Bible open on her lap, one hand still resting on his. Kentrell hadn't left since the meet-up. He sat on the windowsill, back against the glass, legs dangling, watching his little brother breathe. The audio file from Dre sat heavy in his phone like a loaded clip. He hadn't sent it anywhere yet. Still deciding. The street in him screamed to drop it to the right hitters, let karma move fast and quiet. But Tyrese's words from last night echoed louder. Platinum over prison. Legacy over graves. Around 7 a.m., KD slipped in quiet with 2 styrofoam cups of coffee. Handed one over. Cops already got the audio. Anonymous tip line. They moving on it. Dre's name came up in the first sweep. They pulled his mama's spot for questioning this morning. No arrest yet, but they circling. Kentrell took a sip, burned his tongue, didn't flinch. Good, let the system chew first. If they fumble, we still got options. KD nodded slow. Slime said Lil Tay dipped out of town last night. Family sent him to Atlanta with an aunt. Said he's scared straight now. Kentrell huffed a small laugh, no humor in it. He better stay scared. The news hit the blogs by 9. Breaking. Audio leak in YoungBoy shooting case points to Northside crew involvement. No names dropped public yet, but the streets knew. Comment sections turned into confessionals. Old rivals posting, prayers up, for the first time in years. Some even DMing Kentrell direct. We don't rock with that hot shit. If they crossed lines for everybody. The game shifting subtle. Nobody wanted Baton Rouge turning into a full war zone again. Too many funerals already in the last decade. Tyrese woke up groggy but clearer-headed. First thing he saw was Kentrell staring out the window. You still here? Voice scratchy but stronger. Kentrell turned, small smile cracking his face. Where else I'm going? Tyrese tried to sit up more. Mama stirred and helped prop pillows. Heard nurses talking about some audio. You do that? Kentrell didn't lie. Yeah, Dre gave it up. Names. Everything. Cops got it now. Tyrese's eyes widened a fraction. So, no streets? Kentrell shrugged. Not yet. Giving peace a shot, like you said. Mama Shurhanda looked between them. Tears fresh but happy ones this time. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. She squeezed both their hands. This what family's supposed to do. Lift each other, not bury each other. By noon, doctors cleared Tyrese for more movement. Physical therapy started slow. Sitting on the edge of the bed, dangling legs, breathing exercises. Every wince hurt Kentrell worse than it hurt Tyrese. But little bro powered through, cracking jokes between sets. When I drop the next one, it's called Bulletproof Vest, featuring Big Bro. We gon' make the Opps buy Kevlar stocks. Kentrell laughed real this time. You wild, but bet, we in the stew soon as you walk out these doors. Outside, the vigil had evolved. Fans organized a small press conference, nothing official, just kids with mics and phones. One girl no older than 16 spoke for the crowd. Youngie music saved me when I was down. He rapped about real pain. Now he living it, we writing for him, and for YB too. Stop the violence, let them heal, let them create. Clips went viral. Even mainstream outlets picked it up. TMZ ran, NBA YoungBoy family calls for peace after brother's near-fatal shooting. For once, the headlines weren't about beef or arrests. They were about hope, but peace don't come free in Baton Rouge. Late afternoon brought the next ripple. J-Rock, the one with the rose tat, got pulled over on a routine traffic stop. Search turned up a burner and a couple extended clips. No direct link to the shooting yet, but enough for holding. Word spread quick, Opps camp going quiet fast. Some saying they scattering already, knowing the heat was turning their way. Kentrell saw the post on the shade room, didn't react much. Just nodded to himself. One down. Evening came softer. Family gathered in Tyrese's room, more siblings, cousins, even a few old friends who hadn't been around since the come-up days. Laughter mixed with tears, stories about Tyrese as a kid stealing Kentrell's beats to rap over. Mama cooking soul food in the hospital microwave like it was Thanksgiving. Kentrell stayed in the corner mostly, watching, soaking it in. This was what he fought for. Not the streets, not the revenge loops. This right here, family whole, laughing, breathing. Tyrese caught his eye across the room. Beckoned him over weak. Kentrell leaned in. Little bro whispered, I'm proud of you. For choosing different. Kentrell's throat got tight. I'm proud of you for surviving. Now let's get you out this bed so we can get money. Night fell peaceful for the first time in days. No sirens close. No cryptic posts. Just the hum of the hospital and the soft snores of family. Kentrell stepped out to the balcony for air. Lit a blunt, took a pull, then put it out quick, didn't even want it. Looked at the city lights instead. Baton Rouge sprawled out below, still scarred, still beautiful in its broken way. He pulled out his phone, opened notes, started typing lyrics. Raw, no beat yet, just words. They tried to dim my lil shine, but God said not this time. Brother took two to the chest, still woke up breathing blessed. Opps thought they won the round, but we rising from the ground, gout and blood thicker than lead. We ain't dying, we ahead, he saved it. Titled it, Resurrection. Smiled small. This one wasn't for dissing. This one was for healing. Next morning, Tyrese took his first real steps with a walker. Shaky, painful, but steps. Mama cried happy tears. Kentrell held him steady on one side, KD on the other. Nurses clapped soft. Fans outside caught wind, started cheering from the lot below. Tyrese waved weak through the window. I'm coming back stronger, he mouthed to them. And just like that, the story shifted. From tragedy to triumph, from blood to bars. The shooting that was supposed to end the Gowden legacy instead lit a new fire. One built on music, family, and choosing different when the streets begged for the same old cycle. Kentrell looked at his brother walking slow but forward. Felt something loosen in his chest. Maybe this was the real win. Not bodies dropped, not Opps silenced, but a little brother still here, still dreaming, still spitting fire. The road ahead wasn't clear. Beefs don't die overnight, streets remember. But for now, in that hospital hallway, with family close and beats waiting, NBA YoungBoy let himself believe. Maybe they could break the curse after all. Maybe the next chapter wouldn't be written in tears, but in tracks. Days turned into weeks in that hospital room, and slowly, the nightmare faded into something manageable. Tyrese's wounds scarred over, ugly red lines across his chest and shoulder that he'd later joke were his battle stripes. Doctors cleared him for discharge on a crisp morning 3 weeks after the shooting. No more tubes, no more beeps, just a walker he swore he'd ditch in a day or two. Mama Sharhanda packed his things like it was moving day, clothes, cards from fans, even the notebook where he'd scribbled lyrics between painkiller naps. Kentrell pulled up in the Hellcat, windows down, new beat playing low. Not a diss track, something melodic, hopeful. Get in lil bro, we going home. The ride back to the crib felt different. Streets looked the same, cracked sidewalks, corner stores, kids on bikes, but the weight was lighter. No shadows trailing too close. No paranoid glances in the rearview. The audio Dre gave up had done its job. Arrests rolled in quiet. Lil Dre skipped town with his mama the same night he met Kentrell, hasn't been seen since. J-Rock caught a charge that stuck, possession with intent, plus the burner tied him to questioning in the shooting. The young hotheads who pulled the trigger. One flipped for a deal, the other still hiding, but the heat made them ghosts. Baton Rouge exhaled. For once, the cycle paused. At the house, family threw the quietest welcome home ever. No big party, no bottles popping loud, just soul food on the table, gospel playing soft, cousins hugging Tyrese careful like he was glass. He sat on the couch, still moving slow, but smiling real. I missed this couch. Hospital beds cold as hell. Kentrell sat beside him, arm around his shoulders gentle. You missed the stew more. I got the mic set up in the back room. Soon as you ready. Tyrese looked at him sideways. You serious? Kentrell nodded, deadass. We dropping that Gowden Brothers joint first. Resurrection. I wrote the hook while you was asleep. Your verse already fire from the hospital notes. Tyrese's eyes lit up, the same spark from the night he dropped. In this bitch. Bet. Let's make it slap. The next months were all about rebuilding. Tyrese did therapy every day, pushed through the pain, got stronger. Kentrell stayed close, cooking breakfast, driving him to appointments, even sitting in on sessions when Tyrese needed to talk through the trauma. No more late-night burner calls. No more cryptic meets in empty lots. He poured everything into music instead. The album came together piece by piece. Tracks about survival, family, choosing different. Fans ate it up before it even dropped. Leaks, snippets, lives where the brothers freestyled together for the first time. In this bitch, remix hit #1 again, this time with Kentrell on the feature. Streams climbed into the hundreds of millions. The Gowden name wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. Social media shifted too. The same pages that once posted laughing emojis now shared clips of Tyrese walking without the walker, captioned, Real One bounced back, Opps went silent. Some even reached out private, respect, not beef. The streets noticed. Younger kids started saying, YB showed us how to stop the cycle. Not everybody bought it. Some still whispered, he's soft now, but Kentrell didn't care. He had his brother breathing, mama smiling, music hitting. That was the only win that mattered. One night, months later, they sat on the porch, Tyrese healed enough to stand without help, Kentrell rolling up nothing but air these days. Stars out bright, Tyrese broke the quiet. You kept your promise, you tried, and it worked. Kentrell looked over. We both did, you fought harder than anybody. I just followed your lead, Tyrese chuckled soft. Gowden Brothers forever? Kentrell dapped him up slow. Forever, no more tears over Opps. Only over good music. The family wasn't perfect. Old scars lingered, trust took time to rebuild. Baton Rouge still had its demons. But that night, under the same sky that once lit up with gunfire, two brothers sat side by side, not planning revenge, but planning the next drop. The legacy shifted from pain to purpose, from loss to legacy, and somewhere in the distance, a new beat dropped in the stew, raw, real, unbreakable. Just like them, yo, if you made it this far, that means you felt every twist, every tear, every comeback in this wild story. Hit that like button if NBA YoungBoy choosing peace over war hit different for you. Smash subscribe and turn on notifications because we got more heat dropping, real breakdowns, exclusive tea, fabricated dramas that feel too real. Drop in the comments right now. Would you have taken the street route or the music route if you were Kentrell? Team Revenge or Team Resurrection? Let me know your thoughts, I'm reading every single one. Share this with your people who need to see that sometimes the hardest diss is walking away and winning bigger. We out here building, not destroying. Peace.